This is the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting. As predicted, gas prices fell in California, where the average gas price in the state reached the highest level on record October 9th. AAA says on average, prices across the country are also down by about 5 cents since last Wednesday to $3.76 a gallon. In other news, scientists are still analyzing the tons of photographic, mechanical, and biomedical data that was gathered during Felix Baumgartner's 24-mile jump from the Earth's stratosphere. Scientists say the information may be used in the development of commercial space travel. In our News in Depth section this week, part 2 of our interview with Jack Basso, AASHTO's Director of Program Finance and Management.
The way I've described what we did was a good thing. We went to death row and we took the prisoner off death row and gave him a stay of execution for 2 years. But if we don't find more money in this 2-year period, we're going to face that same kind of executioner in 2015.
Mr. Basso continues our focus on moving ahead for progress in the 21st Century Act, or MAP 21, which funds surface transportation programs for fiscal years 2013 and 2014 at $40 billion each fiscal year for highway programs and $11 billion for transit. Basso says a major concern is what happens after FY 2014.
MAP 21, the projections we just did recently, tell us that in fiscal year 2015, unless we can produce more revenue from wherever we can get it, the program will drop from its $40 billion in the highway program down to about $4 billion in FY 2015, and the transit program from about $11 billion down to $2.5 or so. So we face a huge cliff there unless we find some revenue to fill that gap.
Basso says he's cautiously optimistic that Congress can find a bipartisan funding solution. After all, he says, members on both sides of the aisle found a way to pass MAP 21, which many had predicted would fail. About MAP 21, Basso says the legislation has broken new ground. Most notably, it eliminates earmarks.
The mother of all earmark bills, Safety Lou, which had almost $20 billion in earmarks in it. That has been a progressive problem for us because it restricted what the states could spend $20 billion on. The public perception was badly affected in the negative in viewing these things as pork barrel. And so changing that by virtually eliminating earmarks changes the debate, the dynamic, and leaves the states really individually in the position to make the decisions what's going to get done and how it's going to get done.
Basso says MAP 21 reforms shift more decision-making authority from Washington to the states, and by eliminating billions of dollars in discretionary grant spending, all states have more to invest.
By putting out about 93% of the funding in formula apportionment, so the states will make project decisions. That money becomes critical to them making those decisions, and it's a dramatic departure from Safety Lou, where about 82% of the money was going out by formulas. So we think we'll create a lot more flexibility. The categories of funding have been shrunken from 100 down to about 6 major categories, which means states have a lot more opportunity to be flexible and make the decisions they think are critical. And overall, it gives us 2 years to figure out the long-term solution to what could be an Oberstar-type bill, ultimately.
Basso is referring to former Minnesota Democratic Representative James Oberstar's 6-year, $500 billion surface transportation proposal, which failed to gain traction back in 2009. And finally this week, the online votes are in, and a record 500,000 plus people have made their voices heard in the America's Transportation Awards People's Choice Competition. Learn more about the projects and the competition at www.americastransportationaward.org. That's the Transportation TV News Update. Thanks for watching.